Going on each, there's a pattern in the top games on the front page. Horror games are kinda like the in thing now, understandably. Content creators have a good time playing them and their audience enjoy watching their reactions. So, as a clout chasing game developer myself, I made a horror game with a llama. So even in the horror game space, there's a need to stand out. Right now there's a lot of horror games that have this dark and spooky ambience from the start, but you wouldn't expect a cute animal to be in a horror game, right? When thinking about the unique concept for my game, I saw inspiration from games like Bonnie's Bakery and Amanda the Adventurer, both very good indie horror games that subvert the player's expectations. So I knew I wanted some kind of cheery, happy-go-lucky game that turns sinister. But I still didn't have a creature to serve as my game's antagonist. And then I remembered a manga I read some time ago, Jinmen. In short, Jinmen is about animals with human faces, and the way the artists draw them is just horrifying. It's just something unsettling, having a realistic face on a human's body. So I thought of one of the least scariest animals, llamas. I mean, look at how cute they are. There's no way they can be scary, right? Oh. So this fella here is Lamu, our antagonist for our little horror game. So besides its unsettling physical appearance, why else should we be afraid? Well, Lamu also eats people. Great. I split the game up into two parts. So first we'll be taking control of Lamu in their own little world, going about their day, finding food to eat. And then we switch perspectives to one of the victims trying to escape Lamu. For the first portion of the game, I did up some of the assets like Lamu and also the food people, because we can't reveal Lamu's eating humans right off the bat. I gave Lamu animations and made a simple interaction system. Actually, this system let me modularly make different kinds of events for Lamu to find and interact with. It also let me create events that need specific items to trigger. And I also implemented a dialogue system to let players experience the story more naturally. I decided to add a third-party narrator into the mix, where its identity is entirely ambiguous, but also allows me to instruct the players on what they need to do to progress. I set up the game's map, which would be this nice little forest park area where our food friends would be happily camping, not knowing of the horrors coming upon them. And then the first part was done. We got to play as Lamu and saw the world in its eyes. But now let's remove this filter and see the world for what it truly is. For the second part of the game, I retreated back to the classic first-person horror formula and put ourselves in the fourth camper who managed to escape Lamu's rampage. I made some assets for the forest and went with the PS1 graphic style and made a recreation of the 2D map in 3D. After that, it was just a matter of placing the key locations into the scene, like the campsite, the car, our dead friends, and our little dog. Lastly, I designed Lamu's AI. Now I didn't really want to do like the classic hide or run from the monster, or else you get jump scared trope. I tried something more subtle and suspenseful. So while you roam around the forest park, Lamu will be lurking around, stalking you, but it's not actually gonna start actively chasing after you. It will just be watching. After that, I did up the endings and released the game on itch. Honestly, not really expecting much to come out, maybe a few plays here and there. And then...
Welcome to Hungry Lamu, a game by Kuru.
Hungry Lamu!
Indie horror game Hungry Lamu.
Hungry Lamu.
Hungry Lamu!
Hungry Lamu.
Hungry Lamu!
Hungry Lamu.
Hungry Lamu. Hungry Lamu.
I didn't expect Hungry Lamu to blow up the way it did. So many content creators covering the game, and a lot of fan art also being made of Lamu. Honestly, it was quite overwhelming. So since the game got some attention, I thought I'd flesh out some lore a bit and give the game a small update. You see, a whole portion of the map in the second part isn't actually accessible, mostly because I didn't have the time to think of anything in the initial release, so I just blocked that part off. You couldn't really visit Lamu's cave as the camper. I got to thinking about how Lamu was originated and made the cave accessible, now making the game feel more complete. And that's it for now. The link for the game is in the description below if you want to play it and uncover Lamu's secrets. Thanks to everyone who's played it so far and given the support. I really appreciate it. And if you want to see what I do next, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.